Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're diving deep into the history of a firearm that truly changed the game. The legendary Walther P38. This pistol isn't just a piece of history, it's a masterpiece of engineering that influenced firearm design for decades to come. So, grab a seat, and let's explore the story behind this iconic sidearm. Enter Karl Walther Waffenfabrik. This company was already a respected name in the firearms industry. They began experimenting with new pistol designs in the early 1930s, aiming to create a successor to the Luger. Their first attempts, like the Walther MP, showed promise but weren't quite there yet. The real breakthrough came with the development of the Armee Pistole, or AP. This design introduced several revolutionary features, but the German High Command requested a few more tweaks. They wanted an external hammer and a more robust safety system. After refining the design based on this feedback, Walther presented the Heerspistole, or HP. This was it. This was the gun that, after official adoption by the German military in 1938, would be designated the Pistole 38, or P38. Production began in earnest in 1939 at the Walther factory, and soon, other manufacturers like Mauser and Spreewerk were also brought on board to meet the massive demand. So, what made the P38 so special? Let's break down its key features. First and foremost was its operating system. Unlike the Luger's complex and costly toggle-lock action, the P38 used a short recoil locked breech system with a falling block. This sounds complicated, but it was actually much simpler and more robust. A wedge-shaped block under the barrel would drop down after firing, unlocking the slide and allowing it to cycle. This system was incredibly reliable and much easier to manufacture, which was a huge advantage. Perhaps the most influential feature of the P38 was its trigger mechanism. It was one of the very first locked breech pistols to introduce a double-action single-action trigger, or DASA. This meant you could safely carry the pistol with a round in the chamber and the hammer down. The first shot would be a long, heavy double-action pull, which cocked the hammer and fired the gun. Every subsequent shot would be a light, crisp single-action pull because the cycling slide would automatically cock the hammer. This combination of safety and readiness was a massive leap forward in handgun technology and became the standard for countless military and police pistols for the next 50 years. The P38 also incorporated a number of excellent safety features. It had a manual safety lever on the slide that also acted as a decocker. When engaged, it would safely drop the hammer without firing the chambered round and disconnect the trigger. Additionally, it had a loaded chamber indicator, a small pin that protruded from the back of the slide, just above the hammer. This allowed the user to see and feel if there was a round in the chamber, even in complete darkness. It was a simple but brilliant feature that enhanced user safety significantly. Ergonomically, the P38 was generally well regarded. Its grip angle was comfortable for most shooters, and the controls were relatively intuitive. It was chambered for the 9x19mm Parabellum cartridge, the same as the Luger, which simplified ammunition logistics. It fed from a single-stacked 8-round detachable box magazine. While 8 rounds might not seem like a lot by today's standards, it was perfectly adequate for the time. The sights were simple but effective, and the overall balance of the pistol made it a very shootable and accurate sidearm. During World War II, over 1.2 million P38s were produced. They served on every front, becoming a symbol of the German armed forces, just as the Luger had been before it. But unlike the Luger, the story of the P38 didn't end in 1945. The design was just too good to fade away. After the war, Germany was demilitarized, and firearms production ceased. However, as West Germany began to rearm in the 1950s as part of NATO, they needed a standard-issue sidearm. Instead of starting from scratch, they turned to a proven design. In 1957, a slightly modified version of the P38, now designated the P1, was adopted by the newly formed Bundeswehr. The main difference was that the P1 used an aluminum alloy frame instead of the original steel frame to save weight. This updated version served the West German military for decades, well into the late 20th century. The P38's influence extends far beyond Germany. Its DASA trigger and falling block locking system inspired a whole generation of firearms. The Beretta 92 series, which includes the famous M9 pistol used by the US military for over 30 years, is a direct descendant of the P38's design principles. If you look at a Beretta 92 and a P38 side by side, you can immediately see the family resemblance in the open-top slide and the locking block system. That's a powerful legacy. For collectors and shooting enthusiasts today, the P38 remains a highly sought-after pistol. They are fascinating pieces of history. You can find wartime models with different manufacturer codes, AC4, Walther BIF for Mauser, and SIG for Spreewerk, each telling a part of the wartime production story. Post-war P1 South are also widely available and are often more affordable for those who just want a classic shooter. When you hold a P38, you're holding more than just a gun. You're holding a pivotal piece of firearms evolution. It represents a shift from old-world, intricate craftsmanship to modern, efficient mass production. It introduced features that we now take for granted, setting the stage for the duty pistols we know today. Its blend of reliability, safety, and innovative design is why, more than 80 years after its introduction, the Walther P38 is still celebrated and respected by firearms experts and historians around the world. It's a true legend that has more than earned its place in the Hall of Fame of iconic firearms. Thanks so much for joining me on this deep dive into the Walther P38, and thank you to the Pitt Rivers Museum who had this one in their collection. It's a firearm with an incredible story, and I hope you enjoyed learning about it as much as I enjoy talking about it. If you did, please hit that like button, and consider subscribing to the channel for more content just like this. Don't forget to ring that notification bell so you never miss an upload. We'll see you in the next one.